Hello everyone and welcome to the Carcode YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name's Sam. Today I'm checking out the Honda Civic Si. Firstly, a huge thanks to Honda USA for making this video possible. I'm out here in LA for the LA Auto Show and I've been driving this for the last 5 days and I've had a great time with the car. But today I'm going to give it a thorough overview and let you know should you consider one. I'll also go through some of the changes from the pre-facelift to this facelift model year vehicle. If that sounds good, keep watching to the end for a full overview on the updated Civic Si. Let's start off with the best bit though on the Si is the driving experience and what powers it. So let's take it for a spin. You got push to start as standard, which is nice, and they're all the 6-speed manual, so you can't have an automatic if you want the Si. However, there is a lot of options of different trims that you can have with an auto, should you wish. Driving the Si is my favourite thing about it for sure. The 6-speed manual is so good, and the torquey 1.5 turbocharged petrol is great too. Also at the higher speeds, the 4-cylinder just cruises really nicely. It just sounds great. It's got a great exhaust note to it as well, which is fun. You can tell it's not really tuned for efficiency, even though it is quite an efficient car. It is just very torquey, ready to go. You've got 260 Newton meters of torque, 192 pound-feet, 200 horsepower, which doesn't sound like a massive amount, but it's plenty enough. And it's a relatively lightweight car, so you can have a lot of fun with it for sure, which is good, and 0 to 62 in 6.7 seconds, a second faster than the hybrid. So that's a nippy car, isn't it? That is good. So it's hot hatch level, if you like. Not as much so as a Type R or a Volkswagen Golf R, but it is enough to give you plenty of power to get onto the highway, motorway, and still be relatively efficient. It's a really nice blend actually. So under the bonnet here, you'll find the 1.5 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine, producing 200 horsepower, 192 pound-foot of torque, which is 260 Newton meters of torque if you're from the UK. This will spring from 0 to 62 in 6.7 seconds, which is really quite impressive as well. So not bad at all. It's quite nippy. Honda claimed 27 miles per gallon in the city US and 37 miles per gallon on the highway US. I managed to get 42 on a long run, which was really good actually. That works out to around 50 miles per gallon UK because our gallons are bigger. One of the only things that we have bigger in the UK versus America. It's a great engine and just so nippy. That torquey feel is definitely engineered into it. Lots of people laugh at this and say it's not the most powerful. Yes, it's not. But really, driving this on the highway, in town, etc., around LA, it's been perfect. I've never ever felt like it lacked power, and I've always been able to have a bit of fun with it as well, which has been great. Unfortunately, the bonnet is not on hydraulics, it's just a normal one, but not too bad. It does have auto stop start, brake hold as well comes on every time, auto hold as well, the brake hold, so that you don't have to turn it on each time, which is great because on previous Civics you did have to turn that on every time, which was a bit annoying, whereas now it just comes on when you put the seatbelt on, so that's great. It's the same with the hybrid facelift in the UK, they fixed that, so that's a really great thing. That hold means it's actively holding the car, so as to put it in gear now and come forward, it goes off. As soon as I pop my foot on the brake again, hold comes on, so it's holding the car. You got auto stop start, it's not working now because of the aircon. I'll also drive on the highway, so I'll show you how that is, and I'll also show you these shift indicators that beep at you to tell you to optimum shift, cuts the power when it red lines. That's from the Type R. It's slightly different setup than the Type R, but the same principle, and it gives you that. I might do it now actually, just for a bit of fun. Go! So I'll show you how those work. So that's how they work. So that means you can enjoy your full performance and it'll tell you when to shift. It doesn't do it for every time you shift, only when you're redlining it, but it's quite cool. But mostly I don't drive it like that. I have a bit of fun, but also go up the gears and have a fairly efficient drive. Now we're on the highway. You can hear the turbo kick in sometimes, which is fun. The roads here are quite interesting because they've not got the tarmac on top, so it's just concrete. So you do get those little lumps and bumps. It does it well. You've got your road lane departure warning. It's just like it is on the UK model where it goes to the wheel, which can be a bit annoying. Look at this, cruising. There we go. nice. You can get quite a bit of road noise from this car. It's not the quietest. Yeah, a little bit more road noise than some other cars that you can hear it. But of course you've got the Bose sound system, so if you're listening to your tunes, it's not a big deal at all. And the ride doesn't feel overly firm. It actually feels a little bit less firm than you get on the hybrid. I think a lot of that's due to being a little bit lighter than the hybrid. Of course, you don't have that battery, which is quite heavy. So it is a little bit more of a nimble, lightweight thing. And you do see quite a lot of these around on Civics in general as well. The hybrid is also a really fun car to drive. I do really like it, especially for a hybrid. It's very engaging. A lot of hybrids are efficient, but not really exciting to drive. But the Civic is. But the Si, this wins hands down for me in terms of driver engagement. It is a lot of fun to drive. And even if you just cruise on the highway or motorway, it's really nice as well. Honestly, even on the highway, it's a pretty fun thing to drive. Obviously, and just normally in 6th gear anyway. I'm in 6th gear now at 36 and the car's happy. If you put your foot down, obviously, it takes a bit more to get up to speed when you're in the higher gear, but it does kick the turbo in and then it's all good. And it doesn't feel like really slow or anything like that. You don't have to rag it everywhere in a low gear. You can keep it in high gears and save fuel and still have plenty of power on tap, which is great. Look at that view. That is amazing. And what a car to do it in. It is nice to have a bit of that control that the manual gives you, definitely as well. But I'd say this car's a lot more fun on a twisty road than it is on these straight highways. But it's still fun in a straight line, especially because you can have fun with the gear thing. Let's try that actually and put it in second now. It's got power, you can feel it. So the lights go amber and then they build up to red, which is like change gear and it'll cut power. So that means you're not going to blow the engine up. And then you can just keep doing it through all the gears should you wish. You'd get to a very high speed if you did that in 6th gear. There's a long power band as well, definitely. Obviously in a higher gear, so put it in 6th now. Not as much happens and the turbo has to kick in a lot more. A lot of the time, this is the highway. Start, stop, boring. But even in the manual, it's fine. I don't mind it anyway. You might mind it if you're hours and hours and hours a day driving. You might prefer an auto, but I think it's still worth having the benefit of the manual, of the fun driving experience when you can. The trade-off of maybe not always being as convenient in traffic and things like that. It does have that bit of rev hang as well, which means once you've accelerated and come off the accelerator, it still stays at those revs for quite a while, which does make upshifts smoother basically. So if you're not used to driving a manual or a stick, it's easier in that way, makes your changes smoother. But some people don't like it. I don't mind it, but it just means you don't have that kind of dip in power when you change gear, not there, which is kind of good in a way, but some people don't like it. It does have a bit of rev matching as well for your downshift. It is such an engaging car to drive. One of the most engaging cars I think I've ever driven, 100%. It's not got an overwhelming amount of performance that's like unnecessary, if that makes sense. So it's not ridiculous. It's not like you can never push it and have a bit of fun. You definitely can do that, which is good. I would recommend if you like to have a nice, engaging driving experience, you will really like the Si. This thing corners so well too, thanks to the low centre of gravity. It's on 18-inch alloys as well, the same as what you get on the hybrid. And it's got a limited slip differential, so for out on the track or going down really tight corners and you still want to put the power down, it'll be able to do that, which is great. So it really does add to the agile feel of the car. I've found this delightful piece of twisty road, so let's go. The handbrake comes off as well when you have your seatbelt on. Twisty corners. It just sticks to the road like glue because you've got that wide track and it's just so nimble and agile. It sounds so good as well, that sport exhaust, as standard, is so cool. It's such a joy to drive. I'm obviously really used to driving manual, I drive it every day, but I think even if you aren't, this car is such a nice one to live with because it actually makes driving manual fun and preferred over an auto in my opinion, but this round the tight corners is great. That's just my water bottle flying. It just corners and handles so well. And the limited slip differential means if you do want to put power on round the corner, you'll be able to do that. The tripod might not be able to cope, but the car can. It's why people want one. It's because of the engaging driving experience. And they don't necessarily need the power that the Type R delivers. A lot of people joke this is like a poor man's Type R, if you like, and it's just because people can't afford the Type R they get an SI, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's also going to save you a lot of money on fuel, which is a good thing. If you drive it carefully, it is efficient, but you can tell just by how it drives, it's tuned to have that sporty feel, which it definitely delivers on. And it's a good everyday level of power. It's not too much power, that's ridiculous. And it's not too little power. You can use a lot of it. I filled it up, but it was $45 to fill up. And that'll give a good 300-400 miles. It's not bad. The clutch is light as well. And it just feels very precise, everything nice. You got blind spot monitoring as well, which is handy. Be better in the inside like you get in Volkswagens. I find that just catches your eye a bit better, but this is still good, and it's good as a standard feature on the car. This has got so much standard equipment, especially for the price. It's such good value for money. The Civic in America does start from $24,000, which is really great value. So this being at 31 is more than your normal Civic, but then it's got a good level of equipment on it. Visibility is really good as well out the car, which is nice. You kind of get used to turning right on red as well quite quickly. It's surprising how quick you get used to the different way of driving. Also, the roads are so wide, so big mostly, so that makes things a lot easier as well. I've really enjoyed my few days in California driving the SI. It is a cool car. It's nice to have gears as well. I do love a manual transmission. There's something about it that you just can't beat, especially a Honda one is so good. It's not as stiff like the Type R, which might feel a little bit more precise if you like, but I don't mind that at all. It's not like clunky, and at the same time it's not too loose. It's just that right engaging feel, which is nice. So much more than what you get in anything like Stellantis products. It's an actual manual designed to be fun and give you a benefit of having a manual rather than just it being the standard feature, if you like. This is why people are going to pick an SI, is because they want that manual transmission, they want that fun driving experience. Of course, a lot of the roads here are just long straight roads, so not the most exciting, but having the acceleration is good, and still having the manual is good fun, and the turbo is good fun too. You can use a bit of engine braking as well, which can be handy in the hills where it's like that and that. And I really do like the control that a manual gives you. Of course, you can have DCTs with flappy pedals, which are really good now, but it's still not quite as engaging as this. That turbo helps so much, you picking up the speed, it's great. I love that sound so much. And 1.5 is a great engine size for this car. It makes a lot of sense. You don't need a 2 litre or anything bigger. You can get a naturally aspirated 2 litre engine as well, should you wish, with the Civic and on the hatch as well. They don't do the SI in a hatch. I do really like the hatch. Probably prefer it to this sedan. We don't get this body style in the UK, so I'm just more used to the hatch, I suppose. But I like this too. The engaging feel does kind of tempt you to floor it everywhere, which isn't always the best for your fuel economy, but it is fun. That's a Civic Hatchback Sport, so that's not a turbocharged engine, that's a 2 litre naturally aspirated one. I do like the hatch. The hatch is the only body style we get in the UK. I think if they sold this in the UK, it would sell like hotcakes. I'm guessing they don't because of the Type R and they want to keep that more exclusive, but this would sell so well and they could definitely sell it for more than what they do here, 100%. These seats have got the integrated headrest, but they're quite cushiony actually for an integrated one, so they're nice, and they look great too, don't they, the SI seats, so sporty. Hook you in quite well, it's just the lack of lumbar support. That is the only thing they're really missing. You can sit proper nice and low in this car as well, like you can in the hybrid, which I really like. Of course, you can sit higher up if you want, but I quite like being low to the ground. Having that more fun, fast feeling when you're driving is good. We've got this big dip. It is quite low, which can make it feel a bit scary sometimes when you go down a dip. You don't want to scrape the bottom, but it's not normally a problem. What I really like about the Civic as well is you don't feel vulnerable in this car because it's that big enough size where it's okay. Even when you see big trucks going past you, you feel quite planted and safe in the car. It's quite solid, which is really good. You've got a nice footrest as well, so you can rest your left foot when you're not changing gears, so that's really good. The suspension's not too bad, it's not too firm. These roads are okay with the tarmac on them, but generally the highways are a bit louder anyway because they're just concrete, so you just have that dun, 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 which, yeah, you can definitely feel it in this. Keep trying to spot SIs out and about, and I've seen quite a few. I'm definitely going to miss this car. It just puts a smile on your face. It is truly cheap and cheerful, but it doesn't feel so cheap. There is some things that make it feel cheaper, like not having lumbar support, for example, and this rear mirror not being auto dimming, things like that. No passenger height adjustment on the seat, but those are really small trade-offs for the incredible driving experience. You also have really good equipment with the Bose, the sunroof, the heated front seats now as well, and the digital dials. This would suit me down to a T. I could live with this car easily. As for the exterior, the SI is currently only available as the sedan or the saloon, so you don't get the hatch in the SI. However, you can get the sport hatchback, but not available with a manual anymore, unfortunately. So if you want the fun, sporty manual experience, you've got to go for this SI sedan, or you've got to go for the Civic Type R hatchback. To the side, you can see you've got that sleek, low look that the Civic is famous for, being low to the ground, which also really helps your driving dynamics, as we discovered when driving it. And this is a saloon, as you can see, so it's a bit longer than a hatch. I prefer the hatch, I think, but I do also like this. It's something a little bit different, and again, we don't get this style in the UK. To the front, the SI's got a really nice look, just mildly sporty. You got the honeycomb grille, which is slightly different on this facelift. It looks a lot smarter, and also these gloss black inserts under the headlights. You'll notice on the hybrid, these are body colour. On this SI, they're all gloss black, regardless of the body colour you go for. So it looks really good, and it's just a much sharper look than the pre-facelift, in my opinion. Also down here, you've got the same honeycomb style grille. You can see the radiator, which I'm not a big fan of. However, it's not as visible as on some Volkswagen models, so that is good. Obviously, if this was a UK car, we'd probably have our number plate there anyway, so it would cover it. But here in California, they're very lucky. They don't have to have the front number plate, so you can have a much sleeker front end. My favourite thing on the front of the SI, though, is this little SI badge. I think it's just so cute and sporty and looks the part on the car. You also get LED headlights as standard with auto high beam, which is great. They're not the matrix clever technology that you get on the advanced model in the UK, our top spec hybrid, but they're still LEDs, so they do look good. You don't get any fog lights, but that doesn't matter. And you got lovely LED daytime running lights. Just a sleek, sharp look, and it looks more premium than what you get on the Toyotas and Nissans currently on the market. I'll show you the main beams now. There's your main full LED headlights, which really work excellently at night, nice and bright, so a great safety feature, allowing you to see and be seen as well. As for alloys on the SI, these are the standard 18-inch matte black alloys that you get, which look really good. They are a slightly different design from the pre-facelift. They've got a chunkier, kind of more bold look, which I do prefer. You can also upgrade them for 18-inch in the black rock design for $1,600, but I don't like them as much. They're kind of an accessory rather than these nice ones which suit the car much better. So these are excellent. They're wrapped in Goodyear Eagle F1 tyres, which have been grippy enough. It is a really nice time here. It's rained a little bit, but I've had no issues with grip. Obviously in the winter and things like that, you might want an all-season tyre on it, but generally everyday driving they've been absolutely fine on the highway and on the twisty roads too. Really love this detail on the wheel as well, where it just says SI there. It looks really cool, so you know it's the SI, and that's unique to the SI, so it's on all the wheels. It looks so cool. As for colours on the SI, there's a total choice of 4, so not many. As standard, you can have it in the solid rally red, which does look sporty, but not my favourite, but it does suit the look of the Civic. Or you can have it in the crystal black as standard, which has a nice, sleek, stealthy look. Optional $455 is this urban grey pearl, which is actually really nice. When the sun hits it, it just has loads of different colours. It's the same colour as I tested on the Jazz Hybrid Sport in the UK. If you want to check out that video, you can click up there. And last but not least, you can opt for $455 again, platinum white pearl, which I think looks great on the SI, and it would be what I would pick. Unfortunately, they got rid of that lovely spicy orange colour, which I really liked on the SI. That would definitely be my choice if they had it. And I also really do love the Boost Blue Pearl that they have on the Sport Civic, but they don't have that on the SI. But this grey is nice. I'm not normally a big grey fan, but like I say, when the sun hits this, it does have different hints of different colours. It's a little bit different to the Sonic Grey Pearl. So although the SI is a relatively inexpensive car, the interior doesn't feel so. You've got nice premium materials like the premium soft touch dash, which is really nice. Same as what we get on our hybrid model in the UK. Something we don't get on our hybrid model or any Civic in the UK anymore is this, the manual transmission. Our last Civic with a manual was a 2021 model. The Sport, you could have it with the Sport, which was a 1.5 turbo as well, very much like this. That was a really cool car. The 10th generation, I wasn't much of a fan of the design as I am to this 11th generation. It was a bit more fussier. This has got a much cleaner, sleeker look in my opinion, and I think most people would agree. And I like this cabin layout so much more than the 10th generation Civic, which was quite clunky and just didn't feel so nice. This feels a lot more premium as well, which is good. These seats are generally quite comfortable. It's a shame they don't have adjustable lumbar support. That would definitely help the comfort for a longer journey. You can kind of feel it's lacking a little bit in the lumbar support. So yeah, that is a shame because you get a bit of a sore back after I've been driving this for like 3 hours now, so that makes sense, but that would be better if they did fix that. However, they are heated now on this 2025 model year car, which is great to see. Additions for this facelift model include the heated front seats, which is great to see, really nice, standard equipment. You've also got the 10.2-inch digital dials now as standard rather than having the semi-digital dials, so this looks a lot better. This is your 10.2-inch digital dials, really clear. It's got built-in Google Maps actually, which is so good. So the Google Maps and the Apple Maps as well, if you use the Apple CarPlay, it all comes up through this dial here, which is so good. It's such a good thing to have on the car. But it's nice now that I'm filming and I don't want to use the CarPlay, I can use the built-in Google, which is great. Because it's meant I don't have to use the CarPlay, which is good, because when I'm filming it can interfere with stuff. These roads are so wide, it makes U-turns really easy. Something that you already had standard on the SI was the power sunroof, which is a really neat feature, such a nice little thing to have. It's just a small one for the front section, but it does mean it's bright and airy in here, which is great. And you do also get a manual blind with that if you want a little bit of shade. But it's so nice because you have that dark, sporty headlining, but then the nice, bright, airy feel in the cabin, which is excellent. So you get the best of both worlds in that sense. Another standard feature, which was also on the SI previously, is the 12-speaker Bose surround sound system. This is really good, provides excellent bass as well, so I've really enjoyed listening to my tunes on that. That's been excellent. Nice material down here, very much the same as the hybrid, but just obviously a different shape to accommodate for the manual transmission. You've got 2 USB-Cs down here. You've got all your physical climate controls, which is so nice. They're so easy to use. It is all in Fahrenheit, and I couldn't find a way to change it to Celsius, which is a bit annoying. But for most people, that's not going to be a problem, as in America, they use Fahrenheit, so that's fine. You've got the 9-inch central Honda Connect screen, which is really good with built-in Google on this car. So that's been excellent because I can just use the Google Maps off the screen. It works really well. It has the live traffic and everything, so that's excellent on the vehicle. Really nice. Screen is facing towards the driver because of a left-hand drive. So in the UK, our screen's still facing this way, but we obviously drive on the other side, so it's a bit annoying, whereas this is a bit more driver focused, which is great. It's weird that you don't have parking sensors on this, but you do have a rear camera, so that's fine. In LA, all the parking spaces are massive, so I've not actually missed the sensors, but maybe if you're in a tight street in New York or somewhere like that, you would miss having parking sensors, and it's just weird on a new car not having them, so that also makes it feel a bit cheaper, but again, here, it doesn't really matter. Steering wheel's nice, easy to hold, it's fully round, and it's got the nice red stitching for that sporty feel. I would have loved to see a bit of perforated leather on the steering wheel. I think that would just add to a sporty look. However, you could get a stitch on cover really cheaply and make it look a little bit sportier again and protect the steering wheel as well. You've got the same sort of mesh vents, but you do have a red surround on this SI. Really clear, easy to read everything, which is nice. Unfortunately, the rear mirror is this cheap, more plasticky, not auto dimming mirror. But then I have to remind myself, this is actually a really affordable car, much cheaper than our Civic in the UK. Okay, what about your boot space and practicality on the Civic Si? Well, you can see it is a pretty big boot. It's quite deep. It's 14.1 cubic feet, which is 399 litres. So it's not quite the 410 litres on the hatch, but it's pretty damn close. And it's just the shape of it that limits it a little bit for practicality. So your height is not as much as what a hatch would be. Width is similar, and depth, you still have a nice, far, deep boot. It is a big space, actually. You could get pretty much everything you'd need in here for a small family, definitely. It's bigger than what you might expect. It's nice and light too, and there's also a release on the key fob and inside the car. Also, there is a little emergency escape, so you can't lock anyone in there. And what about the backseat practicality in the Si? Well, because it's longer than a hatch, you've got loads of leg room. Headroom's pretty good too. It's less sloped, I think, than the hatch, so you have a decent amount. If you're over 6 foot, you may struggle, but if not, absolutely fine. Yeah, it's nice. It's comfortable as well. Unfortunately, you don't have the cool red in the back. You just have a bit of the stitching. The central armrest as well, but it does hit the base, which feels a bit cheap, and it doesn't give you the best support, but at least you've got one. And how's the middle seat? It's actually pretty comfy, and thanks to that being squishy, you do have a nice squishy backrest, which most middle seats in cars now are really uncomfortable. This isn't the case, it's fine. You've got ISOFIX on the outer seats as well, so that's really great. Unfortunately though, you've got no USB-Cs and no climate through the back, but I guess that kind of makes sense at this price point. It's a small car anyway, so you do get nice open. These seats are nice and open, so you do get a good view out. So if your passengers get car sick, they might like this, and it's nice to be low to the ground too. So unfortunately, that is my time up with the Civic Si. I've had a great time with this car, loved it so much. Definitely worth its money, a bargain in today's world. Fun to drive, you don't get this engagement from many cars, and I so wish they'd bring it to the UK. So Honda UK, if you're watching, we need these in the UK, 100%. Great choice, and if you want something fun on a budget, the Si delivers it. Thank you so much for watching. A huge thanks again to Honda USA for making this video possible. It's been great. I've loved my week with this car, and I look forward to seeing you in the next review.